Hi, my name is Steven. Welcome to Wplifestyle. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when next I upload an amazing video like this. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create an animated subscription button inside of Davinci Resolve, just like the one you are seeing on the screen right now. You can see that I created this inside Davinci Resolve, but this is a little bit more complicated, especially if you're a beginner and you have no idea how things work inside Davinci Resolve, or you've never used After Effects before and you have no idea how things work inside Fusion or how motion graphics work. This is going to be a little bit complicated for you. This is why I've decided to do this in a more simpler way. So I'm going to show you how you can achieve the same result in a different way, in a more simple way that is not too complicated for you. So without wasting too much of your time, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is to go to your browser and go to this website right here called Popup.com. Popup.com is basically like an online version of Photoshop. So if you know how to use Photoshop, this should be really easy to use. But if you don't worry, we're not going to be doing anything too complicated. Just follow along and I'm going to show you how you can do everything step by step. So once you're on this website, this is the first thing you're going to see. And we're going to click on Create New Project. And then from here, we're going to choose the size that we want here. So they're going to show you all these templates here. We don't need any of that. We want to create everything from scratch. So we're going to select this YouTube cover over here. We select this. And then we're going to change this background to transparent. You can see right now is a white background, but we want to change it to transparent background. So once you do that, click on Create. And here you can see that we have a blank canvas. All we need to do now is to click on this rectangle shape over here. And then we can draw a rectangle here. Like this. And then you can click on this selection tool. This is a move tool, or you can call it a selection tool as well. So we can move this around. So you can position this in the middle just the way you want it. And then over here, you can choose pretty much any background that you want. Just by going here, you can see we have a little bit red here. Just double click on it like this. And it's going to pop up this color picker right here. So you're going to change the background from here. So from here, you can give this pretty much any background that you want just by selecting any color here. So for this tutorial, I'm going to give my own white background like this, and then I'm going to click on OK. So if we go back over here, let me go back inside Davinci Resolve. Let me go to Edit tab here so you can see what we have here. So if I play this for you, you can see what we have right here. So we have a logo here. So here you can put your logo or your picture. You can see here that I have my picture. And then over here, I have Wplifestyle, which you can put the name of your YouTube channel or maybe your name. And then you can put a tagline or pretty much anything that you want. And here you can see that we have a subscription button. So let's go back here to Popup. And here, what we need to do here is to add our logo or your picture. So anything that you want to add, go ahead and add that here. And to do that, we're going to use a circle shape here. And then we're going to draw this. So make sure when you are drawing this, so make sure you are holding down Shift. If you don't hold down Shift, this is going to draw a distorted circle. You can see this is not a really nice circle. But if you hold down Shift, it's going to draw the circle proportionally like this, you can see. And then I'm going to select the circle and drag it over here. And then I can make it smaller by holding down Shift and resize it like this. So once you get that to the perfect size, you can just move it inside the rectangle and make it fit really nice. So you can see that we have it there right now. You can't really see it because we have white background as well. So let me go over here and change the background. So I'm going to go back to background over here and change the color for now. So let me change that color to something else. Let me change this to this color for now. So now that we have this color, you can see the circle that we have right there is in perfect shape. So what we need to do now is to place your logo or your picture inside the circle. And to do that, we're just going to drag the logo on the canvas or the picture on the canvas. So let me drag my picture over here. Okay, so you can see that I dragged my picture on the canvas here. I'm going to drop it here. Now you can see that I have that picture here. All I need to do now is to hold down Shift and resize this picture. I think this is good enough. So once you resize your picture or your logo, all you need to do now is to drag that picture or logo and put it on top of this circle. You can see right now that the circle is actually on top of the picture, and we don't want that. We want the picture to be on top of the circle. To do that, we can go over here on the layer panel. So this panel here is where we see all our layers. You can see right now that we have 3 layers, and all the layers we have are right here. And you can also rename your layer to keep everything organized just by double clicking on the layer like this, and then you can change the name like that. So you can pretty much rename any layer. And then once you are here, what you want to do is to drag this picture that we have now, to drag it on top of the shape. So I'm going to drag this and put it on top of the shape like this, right? So once we have it on top of the shape, you can see right now that the picture is already showing on top of the shape. Then what we need to do is to make sure that the picture is selected in the layer panel here, and then we right click and go to clipping mask and click on clipping mask. That we put the picture inside the circle. Now you can see that we have the picture inside the circle, and then we can drag the picture to resize the picture to make it fit perfectly inside the circle. This is also how you can put your logo inside the circle. And then once you do this, the next thing we need to do now is to put your name or title, and then you can also put your tagline here, or maybe you put something else, I don't know. So let's go back here, and then we can click on this text button right here. We click on this, and then we can draw this over here, and then we can start typing. So you can type your business name or your YouTube name or your name. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to use my name. So you can see here that I've typed my name, but this is really small. All you need to do now is to highlight it like this, and then we can change the size to maybe, I don't know, maybe we can change this to 100. You can also type in here, just type 100 in here and click enter, and then I can resize this like this. So once you finish that, you can click on this check mark right here, confirm, and then you can click on your selection tool, and then we can move this around. So now that we have this here, you can also highlight this and go over here to change the fonts. If you have a font that you already use, or you have your brand fonts that you use, go ahead and search for it here and see if it's available, and then you can use that font as well. Now you can see that the font is loading. Now we have it, so I'm going to change this to maybe 150. Then I'm going to increase this a little bit like this and click OK. I'm going to also change the color as well. Let me highlight that again. And then we're going to go over here and change the color. You can see over here, once you highlight it, you see that option. We can change this to white. Once we select white, we can click OK. And then the next thing you can do is to put a tagline just like we have over here. You can put a tagline here, or you can maybe use that for your social media. You can put your social media icon there. So what I'm going to do now is to put my social media icons here. Okay, so now that we have this here, I'm going to add my social media icons here. But before I do that, I'm going to lock some of these layers so I don't move it around by accident. So I'm going to select the background, and then I'm going to click on this key right here to lock it. You can see now that it's locked. And then when I try to move it, you can see that it said that this layer is locked. And then I can do the same with the circle icon here. I can lock this as well and lock this picture as well so that I don't move it around by accident. Now you can see that I cannot move any of this. So all of these are now good to go. And then keep in mind that if I move this even down over here, you can see it's going to block the circle here. So make sure that everything that you're adding is on top of the picture. If you put the picture on top, it's going to block the clip maxing that we have here, and you're not going to see that picture anymore. So I'm going to move this back up here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to bring in all my social media icons. So you can go ahead and download one from the internet if you don't have one already, but I already have some ready. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them into my canvas. So here you can see that I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So I'm going to do these 3 for now. And then if you have like different names for your social media icon, you can also do them separately. But for me, I have the same name, so I'm going to use just one name for all of them. And then I'm going to hold down Shift and resize this one like this. And then I'm going to drag it and put it here. Okay, so just because I have the white version of the Instagram and I'm still going to change my background to white, I'm just going to delete the Instagram one for now and use just the Twitter and Facebook. But if you want to use Instagram, you can go ahead and download the colored version of the Instagram icon, so that way you can use it on a white background. But if you're using a different background, I think the white one will do just fine. But for now, I'm just going to delete this one. And then I'm just going to resize the Facebook one as well. Okay, now once you have this placed here, you can resize this and make it a little bit smaller if you want, but I think it's fine like this. I can move it a little bit down, and then you can also move both of them together if you want, just by holding down Control and selecting both of them from the panel over here. You can see both of them are selected, and then you can move both of them around together. And then once you have that, if you want to resize them as well, you can hold down Shift and resize them as well. Once you are happy with the result, you can click OK here. And then from here now, you can duplicate the text that we have here, or you can just add a new text. But I'm just going to duplicate this one because it's just easier. And then once you type the name, you can highlight it and change the size. So this time, maybe we want to use 80 and then click OK. So now you can see what we have. You can add pretty much anything that you want here. It doesn't really have to be what I have here. You can add pretty much anything that you want. And if we go back here, you can see what we have here. And then that will be pretty much it for this design. So what I'm going to do now is to change this back to white, because I have my text white. So I'm going to change my text to a different color. So you can change yours to any color that you want. So I'm going to click on the name, and then I'm going to highlight it. And I'm going to change the color here to maybe blue. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my social media username here. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to change the color to maybe black and click OK. Now that I have that changed, I'm going to change my background color. Go back here and double click on this color here to change the background color to white. I'm going to click OK. So now we have the white background and it looks like this. So all you need to do now is to export this. So go over here and go to files and click on export as. So I'm going to click on PNG, and then over here you're going to see you don't need to do anything here. All you need to do is to save. So click on save. Now you can see that our file is saved here. If I open it, you can see what it looks like. So I'm going to close this. And now we need to go inside Davinci Resolve. So I already have a subscription button that I created for you. So you can see here the subscription button that I created. This button that we're going to use inside Davinci Resolve, we're basically going to put the button right here that we left this space here. So that's why we left this a little bit space here. So that's where we're going to put that button inside Davinci Resolve. So I've created this for you already. You can go ahead and click on the link in the description box below to download this button. If you can't download it for some reason, you can also go on internet and download one. There's a lot of them on the internet. If you go to pixelbear.com, you can type YouTube here and click on search. And now that we have all these YouTube icons, we want to narrow this down to videos. Click on image here, and then you can click on videos. You can see now that we only have videos. You can see all different type of subscription button. I did create one for you, which I'm going to leave link in the description box below. But if you would like any of these ones here, you can go ahead and download that as well. This one is good, but it doesn't have any bell icon. This one is also good and it has the bell icon. So you can go ahead and open it like this, and you can click on download. I'm going to choose this 920 1080, and I'm going to click on download. Now you can see that it's downloaded over here. Now all you need to do is to go inside Davinci Resolve. That is where we're going to put all of this together without doing any motion graphics or anything like that inside Fusion. So this is going to be so easy to do. So now head over to Davinci Resolve and create a new project. Now you can see that I'm inside Davinci Resolve here and I have nothing here at all. So the first thing we need to do now is to bring in all the files that we're going to use in this video. And the only thing we basically need is the green screen video that we just downloaded, and also the banner that we just created. And also make sure that all the files that you're going to be using to create your subscription button are all located in the same folder. Let me go ahead and import all the files that I'm going to need here. So let me go ahead and import all the files that I'm going to need here. So I'm just going to go to media pool here by clicking over here. And then I'm going to drag the files that I'm going to need here. So now that we have all the files that we need in the media pool, so we're going to go ahead and head over to the edit tab. So here in the edit tab, all I need to do now is to drag this banner over here on my timeline. If you want to extend this a little bit more, you can go ahead and drag this and extend it how much that you want. So I'm going to leave it to about maybe 7 seconds. So what we need to do next now is to bring in any of the subscription button that we have here. So any of them will work. So I'm going to bring in the one that I created for you first. I'm going to bring that in here and put it here. Maybe you can see that it's actually a little bit longer, maybe 10 seconds. So I'm going to increase my banner a little bit to match this. You can see now that we have the same size. And now that we have that, obviously we want to get rid of this green screen, so we have to head over to Fusion here, and then over here with the media in selected, press Shift Space on your keyboard, and it's going to pop up this selection here. And then over here you're going to look for keyer, so K-E-Y-E-R, and then you're going to see all this type of keyer here. So the one we need is the delta keyer, so I'm going to select on that and click on add. That is going to add the delta keyer on here. You can see with the delta keyer selected, all you need to do now is to head over here and grab the eyedropper pencil here, grab it, don't click on it, just grab it like this. You can see that I'm holding it, and then put it here on the green screen background, and that is going to remove that green screen for us. Now if we go back to the edit tab, now this is what we have, just the subscription button. So now we can select the subscription button on the timeline here, and then over here we're going to click on transform. So with the transform selected, we're going to click on this drop down arrow and click on crop, and then we can crop this a little bit like that, like this. We can crop it, doesn't really matter, you can just move it like that, but I just like to crop it a little bit like this. Once you have that cropped, and then go back here and select transform, and now we can really move this around, so we can put this over here like that. That's why we left this space here, so we can put this here. You can put it at the bottom anywhere you want. We can put it here. Once we have that like that, we can go back over here and click on play. Now you can see that our subscription button is playing. So this is awesome, guys. So that's pretty much how you can do it. And then if you prefer the other subscription button, I can show you how you can use that as well. Or you can, it's pretty much the same thing. You just drag it to the timeline and then head over to Fusion page like we did before. And then with the media in one selected, click on Shift Space and then select the delta keyer and add that to your timeline, and then drag the eyedropper over here, and that is going to remove the background. And then go back here and take the crop tool and crop this a little bit, and then you can go back and choose the transform tool, and then we can transform this a little bit like that. Okay, now that we have it there, if you prefer to use this one, all you really need to do is to delete the first one that we have here. Like if you prefer this one that we downloaded from the internet, you can go ahead and use that one as well. So let me go ahead and delete the first one. I'm going to select that like this. I'm going to go over here and delete selected, and then I'm going to move this one over here, and then now I'm going to drag my banner to match this one. So this is 9 seconds, and that's fine. And then I'm going to play it. So now you can see the subscription button there, and it's not looking good there. So we're going to make sure the transform is selected, and then we're going to move it over here. You can put it up here or maybe at the bottom here like that. So what we have to do now is to put a video transition on it. So I'm going to grab a slide. I'm going to just put it over here like that, and then I'm going to put another one at the end here, and then I'm going to select the first one and open that inside the inspector, and then I'm going to change it to slide bottom up. So bottom up, we want it to come up from the bottom, and then the direction is going to be in. So if we play that now, you're going to see that that is sliding up from there. And then we're going to select this last one here, and then we're going to change this to top down, and then we're going to change the direction to out. And now that we have it, we can easily copy this first one here. Just copy it like this, and then we can paste it on the banner as well. We want to paste it here on the banner as well. We paste it there, we have it, and then we can copy this one as well, and then we paste it here at the banner as well. So both of them are going to have the same transaction, so that means both of them are going to be coming in at the same time and then going out at the same time. And now you can see that we have a pretty nice looking subscription button, and that's pretty much how you can create it pretty easy without messing around inside Fusion or After Effects. If you don't know how to use those programs, this is a way to go, and this is pretty easy. I think anyone can do this. Right now you probably think, okay, there's a black background. So there's no black background. So because we have a transparent background, it's just going to show black, but there's nothing there. Just to prove to you that there's nothing there, I'm going to add a solid background. So if I scroll down here, if I go to generators, and then I'm going to select solid background, and then I'm going to drag that and put it over here like that. So I'm going to put it here at the bottom here, and then I'm going to expand it like this to the entire timeline, and I'm going to select it and change the background to whatever we want. So I'm going to change this to maybe blue. I don't know, that's too much. I'm going to change it to this one. Yeah, that's a nice one. And now you can see, if I play it, you can see that there is no background, right? So this is going to pretty much be on top of your video. So now that everything is working fine, all we need to do now is to export this project. And to do that, we need to actually change this background to a solid green again. Just export this to MP4 so that we can import it into Davinci Resolve again and remove that background. That way we can save it as one project, as a PNG project. That way we can use it in any project. You can pretty much use it on any project that you're creating. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to solid green. So let me make it a little bit lighter like that. So what we need to do now is to go ahead to deliver tab, and then we can export this. I think we can just use the YouTube settings that we have here, and then I'm going to name this sample YouTube subscription, and then I'm going to make sure that this format is MP4, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on add to render queue, and here you can see my project here. I'm going to start rendering, and now you can see that the project have finished rendering. If I go to my desktop now and play that video for you, and here you can see that we have the video right here. Okay, so that's the video that we just created. So all we need to do now is to go back to edit tab. So we don't really need all this one that we created again. We can still leave it here for now, just in case. You can actually create a new project to do this if you want to leave this here, but I'm going to delete everything that I have in this project. So I'm going to do Ctrl A, and then I'm going to delete pretty much everything. And then I'm going to bring back the project that we just exported. And now that we have it, all you need to do is to head over to Fusion again, and we can quickly remove the background again. And then from here, we hit Shift space again, and then we're going to search for Delta key and add that, and then drag the eyedropper and put it here and remove that background, and then go back to edit tab. Now this is what we have right here. You can see, okay, that's really nice. And now it has transparent background and it's all one video. So if I go to deliver tab right now, this time all we need to do is to change this to custom. So I'm going to use the same name that I have before, so I'm going to copy that name, and then over here file name, I'm going to use that same name, and then I'm going to save this on desktop. You can choose whichever location that you want, and then this time, this is very important, you need to make sure that you select the individual clip, because we want to export this transparent background as well. So you select individual clip, and then over here the file format, you want to change this back to QuickTime, and then from here you want to select DNxHR, and then if you scroll down here, you see this option here that says export alpha. So what will happen if you select the wrong codec here? So if you select this HD one here, you're not going to see this export alpha option, and you really need that option to be able to preserve the transparent background that we have. So make sure you have this HR1 selected, and then you scroll down here, you see that export alpha. This will help you to preserve the transparent background that we have. And then so once you have all that selected, and then you can go ahead and add that to render queue, and then I'm going to render it. So now you can see that the render is completed. What we need to do now is to go back to the edit tab. So we want to make sure that what we just exported is working. So I'm going to delete what I have in here again. I'm going to delete everything that I have in here. You don't need to do this. You can use a new project or any project that you're working on to make sure if the subscription button that you just created is working. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to use any project. So I'm going to use this video that we have here. This is a green screen video. So what I'm going to do is to import that project that we just exported. Okay, this is the project. You can see that I just dropped it here, And then if I double click on it, I can preview it here. If I click on it, you can see that it's looking really good. Now all I can do is drag it and put it on the timeline here. So you can see that it's playing on the timeline. So what we need to do now is we can pretty much transform it and use it however we want it. On any video, you can transform it like this. And then maybe you can put it on the side here like that, or maybe over here. You can see that it's looking really nice. And it's going to come up like this. Just ignore the video that I'm using there. Okay, let me just use another video. Okay, so I decided to use another video so you can actually see that it's working. So you can see it right there. If I play it back, you can see that the subscription is working. It comes out there and then it disappears. If you want it on the right side, you can move it over to the right side, or maybe in the middle. So anywhere you want it, you can just put it over there. So this is pretty much how you can create a custom animated subscription button for your YouTube channel. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified when next I upload a video. And also, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.